So thank you, Kaya, for joining me for yet another episode. First of all, how are you today after last night's reunion?
Ciao, I'm so glad that I was able to watch with so many people. I just want to thank you guys. If you were a part of like the live chat on Threads, Leah, I know that you were spectating. I know that a lot of people came through to see what we had to say. I would say that that's why I love the Bravo community so much. It's like if you guys have ever seen that like gif of Oprah and like someone's like holding her hand from the back. That's how it feels watching the reunion because if I had to watch it by myself, I would literally like not be okay. And if I had no one to talk about it with, I would not be okay. That reunion angered me to like no end. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. And I'm just so glad that we can be here today to chat about it.
I'm so glad that we get to talk about it together. And just so everybody knows, Kaya hosted an amazing live chat on Threads last night. She's like one of the first people I've ever seen do a live chat on Threads because I didn't even know that that was something that we could do. And when I popped in there, it was 6 minutes until the reunion, and there was already 1.2, there was already over 1,000 people in there. Then as the reunion started, there was over 2,000 people in there. And congratulations to you for both hosting and keeping the chat engaged and trying to basically multitask so many things because you're watching the reunion, you're watching the chat, you're sharing your opinions, and also you have to lock in enough that you're not missing something. So, congratulations, great job. And everybody, check Kaya's socials consistently because she might be announcing the fact that there might be other exciting things that she might be hosting. And if you're needing a landing spot for where do I go, I also don't want to watch the reunion alone. You can watch with Kaya, and I won't be hosting a live chat. So she is someone who you can lock in and watch her host a live chat. So just note that.
Yes, thank you so much. And like I know a lot of people were like, "Wait, I couldn't send anything on the live chat or I couldn't even download it because I'm in a different country." It is something that they are beta testing. It's going to roll out to more people later on. So I was just one of the creators that they chose to do that, and I'm so honored and I can't wait to chat with you all. So either way, if I do the same thing next week or if I do it old school just regular thread style or
Mhm.
even if I just hop on Instagram after, either way we're going to be able to talk and chat and do it up. So we got to get into Rhode Island, honey, because we have
Mhm.
so much to say about Summer House, of course. And I will say, like, I really didn't notice the extended and uncensored parts of the Summer House. Maybe you can tell me, but Rhode Island is worth talking about as well because so much happened this episode.
Yeah, like listen, our some of our shows might be getting a little bit of our leftover material or we're not able to give it 100% right now, but we're still tapping in. We're still locking in and watching the shows. But as far as like reserving a bunch of time, obviously as you guys know and why you guys are here watching this episode is you also want to talk about the Summer House reunion. But we're not going to give up on Real Housewives of Rhode Island because it's amazing. So if you are just watching Summer House and you're about to skip past this, reconsider. Maybe you should
Reconsider.
watch Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This episode, what would I like to say? I would like to start with a couple of thoughts. This episode, they go and do trivia, hosted at Audrey's, which is Jared's coffee cafe. Let's call it a cafe. Okay. And basically, it felt like they set up Rosie to get jumped. Like that's what it felt like. Like basically she was invited there for all of them to it's not even that they all ganged up on her. It's just that Kelsey was able to do what she did and they were supposed to be mediators to the conversation and they hid below the table. Did I find this entertaining? Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing. Do I think that if I was Rosie, I would have left as well? Yes, because
Absolutely.
what am I doing here? Why did you invite me here? And I love Alicia, but I would be annoyed. Don't come after me after the fact. Do it in the moment, or I don't care at all. Make the hard decision and stand up for me. but I'm enjoying it. And what I'm enjoying the most is it's so low stakes. Number one, I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. Number two, I just don't care. Like it's nothing is that like serious, like, and it's just
Mhm.
fun to watch. Like it's kind of just white mess. Like it's just super, it's most of it is surface level, with the exception of there are some interesting things going on that we'll get into later. But it's just fun to watch. It's low stakes. I don't have any dog in this fight. I can just watch and be like, oh yeah, Kelsey and Rosie are at it again. And honestly, I really don't care. You know? What do you think?
I want to know though. I do have a question for you. Like,
Yeah.
totally understand that the Rosie and Kelsey thing is like the main thing here, but I want to know, like, are your feelings about Liz changing at all as she talks to Alicia, like about her being homeless?
I think that I knew who Liz was since the seawall conversation. And I think that my qualm with Liz is that even when she's like really intoxicated, she's hyper aware of the fact that she's being filmed and on
Mm.
camera. And I think that she approaches things from the lens of like, how is the viewers going to respond to this when they see it, instead of just being authentic to herself in the moment and to her friends in the situations. And I think that she's like pushing this side of her to where she is protecting Alicia's family, and like she's able to have friendships with men, and like her husband's really cool with it, and she's like very chill, and she doesn't really have any personal drama. But it's like, no, the way that she talked to Alicia in the car, yeah, I'm like, you and I would have so many words about this exact moment, because she just wouldn't back off of it. And I think, yes, I understand that Alicia was technically not using the right word, but we watched Alicia's mom talk about this, and you might be trying to protect her, but without even realizing it, you are negating or minimizing what her own mother said, which is that was their situation. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't want to like pivot the conversation to
No,
that
you
because
didn't.
obviously we're going to talk about that later. But I was just like so curious because I came in this show like, okay, that's Dolores. That's going to be like the Teresa Giudice. She's the center of things. She is the one who is going to be like, there's always like a main one, there's always a
Hmm.
Nene Leaks.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, okay, this is Liz. And I thought that she was going to be like the cool one, the one who really didn't like give a fuck. She's the one who's
Hmm.
like smoking weed. And I did understand, like, I think that I changed my mind. Like you said, we reserve the right to change our mind as we learn new information.
Hmm.
Last week, when she was like, you were never homeless, I was like, I understand. Because it's like, no, girl, you live with your grandma. But
Right.
after hearing Alicia express, um, Alicia's mom
Hmm.
basically say that we were couch to couch. I'm like, oh, this is new
Hmm.
information. And
Hmm.
also the fact that Alicia was just like so affected by it. It's like you were
Hmm.
more worried about being right than worried about how your friend felt in that moment. And I will honestly say I did not expect that from Liz. Like I didn't expect it from her like at all. It kind of like took me off guard. It's like once you say it, then drop it. And like,
Hmm.
Joellen's trying to de-escalate the situation,
Oh.
and Alicia might have went was overstepping when she was like, "Oh, I see your true colors," and but for her to be like, "Oh, you see my true colors? My true colors are beautiful." It's like,
Hmm.
hold on, wait, like, why don't you just? I know she said I'm sorry, but why don't you just say I'm sorry, eat shit, and like just like take it because it's not coming off the way that you think it's gonna come off. Like this lady is deeply affected, crying about it, telling
Hmm.
you that's why I don't open up, and you're like pressing on it. So like I think my biggest thing from this episode particularly was the shift I felt in how I feel about Liz. Now, do I love all these women, even Rula? Absolutely. But
Hmm.
I'm just saying that like I did not think that Liz was going to be like someone that I kind of not turned on, but like felt a different way about, like after all this time.
I agree with everything you just said. I think perfectly stated. It also is bringing back a conversation I had with my girlfriend. Shout out to you, Nikki, if you're listening.
Hey,
But
Nikki.
we were talking about Liz in the car and her reaction to Joe Ellen. And what threw me is like me and my girlfriend were saying, like what's right is right. And Joellen, sure, maybe Liz believes that she started this or she's being a flip-flop. But no, it's like I think in the moment it was very clear that Liz was doing way too much. It was coming
Right.
across beyond confrontational. Like at this point, you're kicking someone while they're down. Like why are we Alicia doesn't strike me as someone who looked like she could just handle these like repetitive attacks of what her experience is. And it's also like yeah, you guys grew up together. And if Alicia was a child or 6 or 7, what makes you think that your 6 year old understanding of this situation is accurate? And yes, Joe Ellen's husband was wrong also for being like, no, like that's not what happened. But I think Joe Ellen was trying to mediate. I think she was trying to
Right.
mediate there.
Right.
Hmm.
And Liz, instead of like, she felt ganged up on instead of like, oh, Joellen is just trying to de-escalate the situation. Like, yeah, my husband did say that, and you know what? We did laugh about it. We did agree that she wasn't um homeless, but it was just Liz just really. I was kind of off put by her this episode in general, and also I just felt bad for Alicia more than
Hmm.
I thought that I was going to feel bad for her, because when she said that like she was homeless at the table, I'm just like, oh my God, this is just like the standard like victimization,
Hmm.
feel bad for me kind of thing. But then like as she was talking about like her dad, when they were on that trip and they
Hmm.
they had that conversation with Joe Ellen, and they got to know each other better, and she was like, I look at my kids and I'm like, I can never leave them. Like, what happened to my dad that he didn't want me? I'm like, this is much deeper
Hmm.
and real, like shit that literally affects the way you grow up and the way that you live your life.
Hmm.
So that was just wild for me to see. And then obviously, like next week, we're gonna have that thing with Liz and Joe Ellen, and I think Joe Ellen is gonna be like, I'm about to beat your ass, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Is this Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Like
I'm like, let it happen just for a second.
yes.
Like, I just want to see who has the upper hand in the fight, just to know. I don't
Let
want
him
to play this guessing game forever. Who would have won, Liz or Joe Ellen? Let
right.
me see it play out for 3 seconds and then call it. It's
Turn
fine.
them loose.
T-
Turn them loose.
And if Bravo doesn't take the opportunity eventually to number one, do a cage match where we can see things like Emmy versus Amanda,
Yes.
Joellen versus what's her face, Liz.
Liz. Yeah. Yeah.
Why not Teresa Giudice versus Melissa? Make cage matches, bring
Yes.
them back,
Bring him.
okay?
Bring him.
White people only. And I also think that we should be having a Bravo Jeopardy. Like there's a pop culture Jeopardy on right now. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why doesn't Bravo just have Bravo Jeopardy where it's only Bravo questions across the networks? Not only would that be fun to watch, but it would be fun to have a shot at being on as a Bravo fan. So,
Well, just like in general, like so much more content that they can just put on Peacock if they don't want to put it on the regular channel, that we could just be having so much fun within the NBCU universe. Like, because it can be Bravo, it can be House of Villains, it can be Traitors. Like, there's so much IP there that you
mhm,
now get to have these different things that you can do. Like, it's, you already have like the game shows, but like, dating shows, game shows, like even back in the day when Disney Channel had like those summer like matches where they would have all the
mhm.
talent do like physical things, like do all that with like the Bravo people, because you have Bravo and NBCU people, because you have such talent and so many things to do. But we're getting off topic.
We are.
Let's
Um,
get back to obviously
Rhode Island.
the freaking trivia night. First of all, it was a Disney trivia night, which I wish that I was there, because their answers were so like hilarious. They didn't know anything about what was going on. And I also did not realize that they served alcohol there. Like it's a cafe and lounge at the same time. And also, Ashley, I how did you feel about her crying at this event because I'm tired of it. I know that's her thing. Some people like it. Do you like it, or are you
No,
tired of it?
actually, cry about things that you need to cry about. Cry about Jared looking miserable. Cry about Jared opening Audrey's just so that he can spend less time in the house. Okay? Like, cry about things that are actually impacting your life. I understand, like, crying when you get frustrated, but it's just too much. And then when she got under the table, I'm like, get up,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Like,
Get
this
up.
is your event.
Your place
You're
to
not
listen.
allowed to do that. It's your event at your husband's place, and he already said that he didn't really want all that bullshit going on down there. Well, that's the
Hmm.
best thing that could happen to Audrey's because I was not checking for that shit before.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, I want to be sat at the table that the Real Housewives of Rhode Island all huddled under during this
Make it a
time.
landmark. Put a
Right.
fucking reserves, put a sign on it so that we know. Keep the gum there that was there, that their one of their hairs might be in. Yes.
Right.
I want to know two things. Going back to Liz, what bothered me also about Liz in that moment is, and I hate when people do this, it happened so much on Love Island US. I think Kendall did it. I Kendall, I remember doing it, but rather per se, that's just to say, like, I don't even know what I'm getting
Go
at.
ahead. Like I start sentences and I don't know where they're going to end.
Yeah,
Like,
like this was going, I know where it's going. I don't like that she brought up America and weaponized America against Alicia in that moment as if she thought that like everybody listened. Like she's like, America has a very different version of what it means to be home. And it's like, yes, true. But you saying that in the moment, like with the cameras on you, like it just feels like, would you have really said that to your friend, you and Alicia in the car together, no
no.
cameras? No, I don't think you would have. So it felt like an unnecessary jab at your friend, like while she's trying to express something.
Right.
What, and yeah, like it's sort of like I said, like it just furthers this feeling that she's very, like she wants to project a certain like image like on camera, and I don't like that. I just like when people are authentic. I would rather have Ashley cry and that be authentic than watch someone like curate a moment if that's authentic to Ashley, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. She would. I think that's the whole point is that she's trying to be like, this is not like PC. But I'm also wondering. I know someone already did how they all voted, but I'm like, I don't know how Liz voted, but I'm like, if you voted for that man, you don't give a fuck about homeless people and being PC. So I'm just
Hmm.
wondering,
And
what
I
are
feel like she
we
did. I think that
trying to
most of them
get
probably
at
voted that
here?
way.
Like,
um
yeah.
my last thought was, what did you think about Ashley when she was crying being snapped back to reality with the question, what's the president's helicopter called? She was like,
Marine One.
I'm like, is this like, I knew Air Force One. That's the max
Right.
I
I
know.
said Air Force One. I'm
Me
like, I
too.
didn't know that the helicopter had a name.
Right. You know what? Ashley reminds me of, you know how there's always that joke, this will be a good segue, about how Lindsay did ROTC and
Yeah.
that personality comes out. If someone said Ashley did ROTC, I would be like, of course she did. Like that would just make sense to me. Like that would be a bit of lore. I'm like, duh. Like I wouldn't be surprised they were in the same training camp,
We
like
need to
doing it
know
together.
her background because she's just
Hmm.
like
We
able
need to
to
know.
snap back into it. And I'm like it's not fake. It's not fake crying. It's just like it just annoys me.
It annoys me too. It annoys me too. I'm like, I need you to lock in. But I've just got the mental image. Ashley, you can get another season just for this of in the mask when she was sitting there. That mask and the way that she walked out in it. Oh my God, it tickles
It
me.
was her trying to apply like lipstick.
Lipstick on a pig. Like it was like she tried to make it cute. You know she did. She tried to serve in that mask and
I
it
also
wasn't
liked
possible.
her Watch What Happens live appearance with K Michelle. Like I just love when K Michelle interacts with anyone.
Hmm.
But her, I just never thought that I would say K Michelle and Ashley from the Bachelor universe were on not only Housewives, but also Watch What Happens Live together and got along pretty well because
Yeah.
they, if you guys watch What Happens Live, they were just having moments where like, oh well, you're like the same as me, and I'm like, I love that there are certain points that kind of like bring us together. Whereas that's why I'm not kind of like, I'm on Rosie's side, but I'm not sticking up for Rosie a little bit too much because the
Hmm.
Watch What Happens Live when she was with Shamia, was like, my husband does is like the number one HVAC provider for Rhode Island, and then Rosie was like, you mean for Atlanta? And she was like, no, for Rhode Island. And I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, bitch. Like, I understand that it could have been that Rosie is like, oh, we're talking about Rhode Island. My husband does HVAC, but it also felt like, oh, you mean Atlanta? Like, I don't know. It
Hmm.
just felt a little bit like, no,
I'm not
bitch, it's
giving
Rhode
my
Island.
energy to Rosie for that reason too. I'm just like, I believe people when they talk about their interactions with Rosie. Like Dolores isn't the only person who said that. Like it's just sort of been implied that
The whole cast
um
doesn't fuck with you, so at what point do we?
right, right. All right.
Perf.
It's our time.
To
We're
shine.
to shine. Get your crystals, take your hit, get your drink if you need it. We're talking the Summer House reunion.
And if you guys are visually watching this, I just put my glasses on because, bitch, I need to discuss every detail
She
of
wants to
what went
see
down.
everything.
Everything.
So the reunion, I am going to take us through, but I only have one page front and back of notes. So I'm just going to take us through the bullet points. And when you have something that you want to say, jump in. Okay. Here we go. So the reunion started with Kyle and Lindsay on the couch reacting live, I guess, to the post of Amanda in West's declaration of situationship, like because it's not a declaration of love or anything, so declaration of undefined. And one by one we see them call each other, and I thought this moment I was talking about with my girlfriends was so relatable
Yep.
and real, because one by one them patching the other person in. And I also thought it was pretty telling, side note, that Mia checked in with Kyle, because like
Hmm.
I guess of obviously Kyle doesn't know about it, but I don't know why that was a surprise to me, but it sort of was. Do you have any comment to add about the hard open?
Love the heart open. I love that Lindsay is leading the charge because that's what we need. I love that, like it made me a little bit more invested in the city, knowing that they were filming confessionals for in the city while this was happening. The part about Mia, I think that it's just who Mia is, like as a person. Even though I am not that kind of person, I do not like, especially the I just don't. In that moment, all my focus would just be on Sierra.
Mhm.
But it makes sense, like as a human who witnessed what we witnessed throughout this summer, and even I hated that you'll get to this, but Sierra even acknowledged like I was kind of hard on you this summer considering what we just saw. That opening was amazing,
Mhm.
and it wasn't the opening that I expected because and I didn't see this part yet, so I'm wondering when they're going to use it, or maybe I wasn't paying. I was in the threads chat so much that I did miss a little bit, but I rewatched this morning. When are they going to use the huddle? Like I was like, wasn't that supposed to be the opener? Like the huddle, but instead we got that.
That's such a good point because we did start the conversation, the relationship. I feel like it's going to be in the part two because West denied the fact that he was dating her at first, and he sort of says that it was they were seeing each other. And so I feel like they're going to come back to that, like revisit it. I hope it hasn't already passed because I want to
They
see that.
have
At
to.
this point, like we said, just release all 10 hours on Peacock behind a paywall, $10 each person. They would
Yeah.
make $1 million easily.
That's what, like, you have so much footage and we want to know so much. You guys don't gotta color correct it. You don't have to like The shout out to Ryan Bailey. He made the funniest comment, which was the sound effects people are like going in on this reunion, and they really were because every moment was a
Hmm.
it was so funny. But yeah, love the opener. Love that Lindsay leading the charge, and also it's like one band, one sound begin, but then at the end, Lindsay kept that energy,
Hmm.
which we'll get to.
Ryan Bailey, shout out to you for making that comment that Kaya told me about when you said that Ashley I looked like the Jabberwockies. Like, I can't think about him and not think of that. That's so funny. Okay, still in the beginning, right? So it opens with Lindsay and Kyle on the couch. Then we're in the dressing rooms. And first of all, before leak, before reunion trailer, before anything, I started my bingo card that I made. So if you got to play bingo with my bingo card, shout out to you. Very easy bingo, pretty much a layup. The whole
Oh,
card,
yeah.
yeah, was pretty much
Part
filled
one.
out. But I knew number one, that Amanda and Wes would probably be in the same dressing room, and number two, that they would kiss each other before the reunion or at some point in it. So that was sickening. What was new in the Peacocks version, the uncensored version, was that Wes talks about his disposition overall before the reunion. And at least I didn't catch this on the 1 hour televised. He says that he was going into it feeling very zen.
Oh, he said that, and we ate his ass up in the chat because we were like, Zen? Zen? Out of all the things you can feel, it's like, you can be like, you know what? I feel like I'm ready to take it. I feel like, I'm ready to take responsibility. I feel like I'm ready to face them. But Zen of everything is actually just shows how, like, disassociated and demonic you both are. Sorry.
You have no couth. Like, I don't even feel zen right now, and I'm having a great time. Maybe I do feel zen, but like a touch off of zen, like, because I'm engaged, I'm impassioned about what I'm talking about. So, zen, as you're about to walk in, okay, that's crazy. Loved KJ in the dressing room as they were talking about Amanda and West going to the Yankees game. I love that he made it a point to add, and the same day as Sierra's cover. That's embarrassing.
Right.
I love KJ. It's so huge to have a man call out another man. Like, it really is. And that was his friend. Like, not even just
Yes.
man to man, that was his
Right.
friend. So to say that they were embarrassing and to acknowledge what we all had conversations about online, which is that that was very much intentional. And every time Amanda decided to pop online and be like, hey, it's Megan, like, it was the same day Sierra had announced something big. You guys are fucking weird. You try to hide your hands after you're being weird. And we notice. Also in the dressing room, the guys are all talking about how they had just seen West's dick pic. It was sent to Kyle. Jesse had seen it. Everybody had seen it pretty much except West. And my question for you is, do you really believe that West did not see it prior to this reunion?
That motherfucker is a goddamn liar. There's no way on earth that your nudes, especially your flaccid nudes, are spread around and you don't know about it. There's absolutely no way that you didn't know about this because you have so many people like in your circle, whether they know you or whether they like you, whether they're friends with you, like even if you have a manager, if you have someone is going to tell you that your nudes are floating out there. So for
Mm-hmm.
him to literally get on that stage and lie like that, I just knew where the night was going to go.
Mm-hmm. Because I think it was a lie too. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense that if you did go into the reunion and have your phone off all day, I would say that's stupid. If I was your manager, would have bitched you out. What are you doing? Don't believe you. Like, so unbelievable. I don't believe you. So knowing that you're probably on your phone all day, you mean to tell me the most you know is that it's being spread around Missouri? Honey, there's the internet. It was all over. What do you mean the state, like it was being spread around Missouri?
Made no sense. That was another key point, and that's why I knew he was lying. Because why would you say around? Missouri. Why would you think that people in Missouri and Missouri only would be spreading your dick pics when you're in one of the biggest scandals to happen in pop culture this fucking year? You're a damn liar. And also, Amanda, you're a weird ass bitch for the way that you were like, "Oh, let me see." Like you nasty, disgusting, like heartless bitch. It's not funny. It's and all the
Hmm.
giggling and all of the faces that she made throughout the night, but like just during this particular part that we're talking about here,
Hmm.
her wanting to see it, it's like you've already seen it. You've
Hmm.
already seen it. Why
Hmm.
would you also want your man's nudes to be circulating? Why are
Hmm.
you taking it so lightly? And why is
Hmm.
also West taking it so lightly? Because I don't
Hmm.
care how big or not big my dick is as a man, I don't want my soft dick going around at all.
Also, we need someone, please, someone investigate in the comments and look into this timeline. Western put out a podcast episode that, to my knowledge, was before the reunion had been recorded, where he talked about his reaction to the dick pic. So it's not adding up for me. We don't believe you. It's funny that you acted as if your dick pic was being sent in the mail and as if it was containable, like to contain to the state of Missouri. No, it was out there online, and we live in a digital age. For what reason would that ever make sense? And
Because
Amanda,
his whole thing, and he does, I'm sorry, this whole thing, he does this thing where he's like, I haven't been online, therefore I'm ignorant to the conversation. However, you don't have to be online
hmm,
to know what the conversation is. You
right.
don't have to be online to feel human emotions and to feel sorry. You don't have to be online to know how much you hurt your friends. You don't have to be online to know that you fucked up in a big way. And obviously, if you are going around fucking with multiple girls at the same time, being a fuckboy, of course, that's a possibility that your nudes get leaked. I'm not saying
Hmm.
it's okay. I personally was feeling better before I saw them, so please don't ever send me anyone's nudes. But at the same time, for you to sit up there and lie and you expect us to believe it, and for Amanda to kiki and say, "Oh, let me see," why do you want to see?
Hmm.
It
And
was just
sure,
weird.
and she tried to make a joke and make it cheeky and be like, why I'm surprised I haven't gotten any. Like,
Like, why
ew.
would you get any? Who's fucking with you other than Katie Leo or whatever the fuck, Katie Luca?
Uh-huh, exactly. That's one of my other favorite parts of the reunion, which we'll get to. Quickly addressing the fact that Sierra, Mia, Kyle did a meeting to sort of talk about strategy. How are we going at this reunion? And Kyle's like, I'm not touching alcohol. I'm gonna be clear-headed. I'm gonna be sober, which was a great idea. Okay, thank you, Kyle. Thank you for having some sense. And Sierra said that she didn't want to cry during the reunion, and she also got emotional and hugged Kyle and apologized because she's just getting off of watching the last two episodes, and says that she didn't realize how much he was struggling this summer. And essentially, she didn't believe him, like, or see that because she was being there for Amanda. And tell me how you felt about this.
I just think again, it goes to both Mia and Sierra's character that they're these amazing people who can recognize, yeah, this man is by far not perfect at all. And I did get in his ass and I did not consider what he could possibly be going through. And now that we're in a situation where the person that we coddled and handheld all season is now the villain, we're able to see it a little bit more clearly, like what you're going through. And I think that that is very big of them to
Me
do,
too.
to even offer an apology to Kyle, because it could have just been something that was brought up on stage and it was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were doing that." But they pulled him to the side and
Hmm.
she wanted to apologize in person because he said, "I saw you texting, but then you stopped texting." So she wanted to look him in the eye and like say, "Yo, I'm sorry that I didn't catch that." And that just says so much about her character. And that's why I hate that this happened to her. And it's just, it's such fucking bullshit. Like, yeah, you can just say like she's doing amazing things and she has all these brand deals and she has all this money, but like, why did this have to happen
Hmm.
for her to
Be
just be seen in
appreciated.
the, yeah, and be seen in the spotlight? Exactly.
Agreed. And I think that it was also a testament to like their friendship, like Kyle and Ciara's genuine friendship that they
Right.
have. And I think as I was talking with my best friend this morning, I was like, it just really sort of amplifies the stark contrast in the ways that Kyle has been a friend to Ciara and Amanda has been a friend to Ciara. We're not rewriting history. Kyle hasn't been a great husband to Amanda, but he has been a good friend to Ciara. And
Yes.
sometimes even better than Amanda, who sits
Better
there
than
and doesn't
Amanda.
contribute, doesn't say anything, doesn't show any
Kyle
acknowledgement.
is often he was in tears
Mm-hmm.
over Ciara. He is sick
Yes.
over Ciara.
Yes.
Like, and meanwhile, Amanda is comforting Wes. I'm talking about that reunion before where he was
Mm-hmm.
a mute too.
Yep. And as people have stated online, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember which creators, but I just think I've seen a lot of Black women say about how Amanda has been silently resentful of the fact that Kyle doesn't feel for Amanda when she's crying, but will cry for Ciara
Yeah.
and will say things. And I could totally see that. I could totally see a piece of Amanda's psyche adding that as for reasons why she's resentful of or jealous of Ciara.
Oh yeah, no. I think Taylor Crumpton talked about it with me. I've talked about it with a couple of people. I've seen the conversation online, especially that we have a lot of people, and this is why I'm so glad that Black people are clocking in because we need you now more than ever. But we have a lot of Black people that are watching from the time at least either from watching from the beginning or at least from the time that Ciara came on so she can see how so they can see how Amanda truly is. And it's not just that like he has the emotional capability to deal with Sierra's feelings and really care about like also when they have the conversations about race, it's
Hmm.
also like at the end of the day, Kyle and Amanda said this. Sierra's his hall pass, and Sierra's better than me because I would definitely have fucked Kyle immediately. I'm just that kind of person, but Sierra is not.
That is so funny to think about.
He's so attracted to her. He always talks about how beautiful she is. I mean, everyone is attracted to her, and that's a part of the
I
problem.
just made that face because I was thinking about how Kyle's, if everybody's watching, I just did the craziest thing, but I was thinking about how Kyle said that the earlobes do it for him. And so in my head, my intrusive thought was like Ciara just like really quickly
Ear
doing his
stuff,
earlobe.
which I
Yeah.
hated when
What'd you
Wes said
say?
it. I hated it when Wes said ear stuff. But then, yeah, I wanted to kill him. But with this, ear stuff.
Ear
Even if she
stuff.
doesn't fuck him, ear stuff.
Ear stuff. And again, Ciara didn't owe Kyle an apology, which is why I think that that made that even more sincere and beautiful because I really think that she cares about him. And I can put myself in Ciara's shoes easily. I can see immediately defending my friend, taking her side, not giving a
Yeah.
fuck about whatever he's going through, even if he is my friend, and then being like, oh, maybe Amanda is not fun. Maybe some things you were saying were right. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm understanding this. Because, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you have the ability to betray Ciara this way, I mean, what fucking lengths will you go through to betray anybody? It's very concerning.
And remember,
Also,
she's also thinking about the fact that Wes was Kyle's friend too.
yeah, she doesn't care about that at all. Like she's like, no. And to be fair, I don't either, but still, like it's
Yeah,
fucked
but
up.
the Sierra is understanding that too. Like,
Yes.
damn, like, okay, the way that it's not as strong, obviously,
Right.
but the way that I feel about my friend dating Wes is how you could also feel not only is your ex dating your friend, but your friend is dating your ex. That shit is insane.
Yeah, Kyle tried to speak up. It's like, I feel the same way. And she's like, yeah, you know what, Kyle? You're right. You're both snakes in the grass. West is too, because that's fucked up that they did that to you. So moving forward just a little bit, we talked about the opening. I think that I am shocked as well. This is Amanda's first reunion she's ever been at without Kyle by her side. The very first one. And the first one where you don't have your friends either. So to walk in just so flippant and
Yep.
aloof, and it's just another day, and I'm going to go out and get my man. And even to not sit, you should be sad. First of all, you shouldn't be in a new relationship. This should have been a humbling, somber day for you because you and Kyle's relationship is over. This is the
Yep.
first time you've been in this dressing room without him. This is the first time you're facing him opposite on the couch. Your relationship is effectively a wrap and all of your history is done. We should have been watching a montage of your guys' fucking marriage and talking about how it's sad to watch you two go in separate directions. Instead, and I always knew Amanda would be this way, you can't get out of your marriage until you had a replacement because you weren't confident in yourself enough and you seek that through men. So Wes did that for you. You had your new boyfriend, you left the relationship, and to feel no shame sitting across from Kyle, like it would even be distasteful to feel nothing at all if they had just broken up. But you're with West in a whole new relationship. You're his slam pig. Sorry, Real Houses of Rhode Island reference. And you don't feel ashamed?
But not number one, I would not want like whether I decided to be with this man or not, I would not want to be in the same dressing room as him just out of respect of what we did.
Right.
Point blank period. Would
Mm-hmm.
not want to be in the same dressing room as him. I would not be kissing him while the cameras are on. Like I would show some kind of like class, and it's not about showing remorse because you guys owned it, you guys have been out and about, you are a couple. I get that, but you don't have to rub it in Ciara and Kyle's face. Like you're really just showing your ass on purpose.
And I had this conversation earlier this morning too. What I finally realized is, and I said this before, Amanda and West, if it was up to them, they wouldn't have come forward with this. They wouldn't have come clean to this. They would have soft launched this relationship and gone private for the next few years until the audience was rallying behind them and said they should be dating. And they would put Ciara in a pickle of a situation to where she looked
Yep.
like she was quote unquote bitter or resentful over something that's long in the past if she didn't get on board. That's what they wanted. But as soon as Ciara obtained those photos and as soon as the blog started chirping, Amanda and West made a full conscious decision, regardless of if they say if it was with PR or not. I don't believe them. I think they have a fucked up PR behind them. I think that they, yeah, are making decisions on a whim by themselves, but I think there was also a game plan behind this. And I
Yep.
think the game plan was you did nothing wrong. And how do you look like you did nothing wrong? You live life normally. If you want everybody to believe that you guys did nothing wrong, then you
Act like nothing's
actually
wrong.
act like it. Act like you guys are normal.
That's a good point.
And they're so disgusting to be able to pull it off and do it because you have to be a certain fucking person to be able to do that. And I do think it's authentic to them. I don't think that they have a self-awareness and I don't think they care enough to be aware or accountable or feel badly. But I also think that this over performance and this like we did nothing wrong, like this like flippant thing, it's like
We're
keep
just two people who
convincing.
fell in love.
We were just kids in love. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Also, this was new. West was clicking his tongue in the Peacock reunion. So we're about to start. Andy's going around doing greetings. West is like,
They
and
could have kept
Amanda's
that.
like, don't do that. Don't do that when you're speaking. And I'm like, buckle up, West. This is your new life, baby. Hope you
Yep.
enjoy it. It's going to be getting monitored by Mandy. She should make it an app, monitored by Mandy for the rest of your life. Everything that you do, micromanaged. Stop, don't do that. And he is unserious and he is a child, but their relationship dynamic already, it's giving another example of when she tugged his jeans down at the game. Ugh.
Was just about to say that. Like he's getting used to it now. And it's like I'm kind of glad that they're in this relationship. They are pretty much like what I told Tom and Raquel to do is just like, it's not gonna last. Like, stay in this relationship, be in this relationship. But Raquel had common sense enough, but mind you, Raquel was younger. She had common sense enough to know, like, hey, this man is actually like a narcissist and played me. And I'm going to actually go get some help because I'm having mental health issues. And everyone wants to, the Amanda sympathizers, which is a pathetic group, wants to talk about what kind of like medicines she's on and if she's on all these different, and I'm like, whether she is or not on these medicines for her mental health, it does not excuse this kind of behavior that is continuing on. It's no way. There's no way.
Absolutely, because please forgive me for bringing up like KJ's situation, but I think there's something important to talk about there before we talk about it later. KJ talked about how he was in the was hospitalized, and then afterwards he did months of rehabilitation and therapy and getting himself back to feeling like himself. And an element to getting treatment and to not going from distraction to distraction and actually addressing what the problem is in your life, and I'm speaking for Amanda now specifically, not with KJ, is by you could have done that, Amanda, and avoided harming people, but because you were unable and unequipped because of your own self and how you live your life to get out of this relationship without getting into a new one, and you have all of this pent up resentment for years at Ciara, like you created this situation for yourself that is just a distraction. Any therapist will tell you that someday, that you did this to distract from your problems with Kyle and to give yourself validation. And you could have just fucking went to therapy. You could have went to therapy. You could have went to a wellness center. You could have truly prioritized yourself, because she loved to throw that and see. But guess what, guys? I'm prioritizing me. Then where?
That's my thing. So if you are prioritizing yourself, then that means that you are aware that you need to prioritize yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that cancels out, oh, she's on this medicine, so she's not aware of anything. Just like with on in the city, she comes in the fucking house and Kyle's like, oh, you haven't been eating, oh, you lost weight, oh, are you
Mm-hmm.
okay? Then he goes, I'm worried about you. She goes, I'm worried about me too. So if she has the ability to worry about herself, she has the fucking ability to worry about her friend who she's harmed publicly over and over
Absolutely.
again.
And you have the ability to recognize that not only are you intentionally harming her by going forward with this decision, but you're fucking up your life and you're fine with it. You are fucking it all up for yourself, brand wise, like your future on Bravo, your relationship, your side piece. Like, what is this?
Think in any kind of way that she feels like, at least felt like, it wouldn't, like, people are going to just forget about this and she'll be able to like continue things even though it blew up and her whole plan blew up. Is there any part of her that you think, because that's how she's moving, that's
Mm-hmm.
like, people will get over it and I'll
Yes.
get all this stuff back?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she thinks that. Yes. And
Okay.
she's like, I do think she thinks that. And I think that she's fine with whatever her next brand is, like however people perceive her next. I think she's just fine with it. Like, cause she got the guy. She was chosen. She was picked. Like she got what she wanted out of this situation. Um, Really quickly before we go ahead to the timeline that we learned and when Ciara first suspected Amanda, I just want to say again on regards to West making jokes, like his whole disposition of this was just way too light. Like buckle up, get serious. He's making jokes in the extended version about his dick pic. Then he's talking about how he has 40 sweat pads out back, to, like put in his suit to make sure that he doesn't have pit stains. No one gives a fuck. Nobody cares. You're not funny. I hate it.
It's like you're talking about all this, but when it's something relevant, you are mute.
Interesting how that happens. So we learned the first like large thing is Sierra's asked, when did you first suspect it? She gets out her phone. She's like, no, actually, I don't think she gets out her phone yet, but she's like, January 17th. That's when, because I saw Amanda's location. She was at West's house. I tried to call her or text her and she didn't answer. And Amanda's like, stop. I did answer. I answered 30 minutes later. And it's like, no, you answered once you were put in a group chat by Mia, who put the two of us in a group chat because it was odd that you weren't answering. The way that she tried to rewrite that story, you're sick. Also, she tries to defend turning off her location and she gets snippy and she's like, I don't always share my location with you two, like to Kyle and Sierra. And it's like, actually, you do, because when you share your location indefinitely on Find My Friends, whether you wake up every day and say set drop a pin, you're sharing your location. So it's very noticeable when all of a sudden you're not. She's a sneaky rat. She is such a rat.
It's weird that she is so intent on lying when we have so many witnesses on the stage.
Yep. Like, and then somehow I just have written like Sierra's still talking. Amanda tries to cut in. Sierra's like, I'm speaking right now. They pan to Amanda. She's smirking. It's too much. It's too much. I can't. It infuriates me. Why are you smirking at her?
I can't imagine even being on that stage and feeling nothing but like her face should have just been completely red, not blush red. Like
Hmm.
her face should have literally just been red. She should have been literally looking down or looking at Sierra, and
Hmm.
that's it. No emotion, no expression at all.
Hmm.
Like at all. Because it's only mind you, this is the beginning of the reunion. We just started getting into things. And you guys have already joked around about a dick pic. You've joked around about all this. You got your man, you got your fake Lola blanket because Lola said that is not her blanket. So you got all these things and you seem like you're ready to tackle the day. You talk to Andy, we're doing introductions, and you decide that you want to make a face. The way I would have, ooh, okay, that's the difference between Bravo reunions and other reunions that I'd like to
Hmm.
see.
Because you're delusional and it also just felt like so Trump coded. Like I'm like this felt like I'm speaking. Vice President Kamala Harris said that. That that was the reaction that she was met with. Like these are things like these things. Like so for you to sit up there like it just felt so white woman, so Trump coded. Like yes, I got her infuriated. Point for me, she's upset. Point for me, she's reacting. Like, ooh, it made me so mad to watch. But
The fact that she can smirk in general is just weird. But that's why I love when she had, well, at the end of the episode, like, I'm like, good, cry, bitch. And it was like,
yeah,
that's what you're crying about? Out of
yeah,
all the things that were said on the stage, after
uh-huh.
all the things that were revealed today, that's what's making you cry. And
Mm-hmm.
we're just getting started.
We're just getting started. I also I noticed upon my rewatch that after like during this moment when Sierra said I'm speaking to Amanda when she tried to interject that Lindsay like did like like a hit on the lap of Kyle who did a hit on the who like a, not a hit but like put his hand near Sierra and I'm like stop trying to manage her like
Right.
I don't really care like unless Sierra's like oh look I explicitly asked Lindsay to like let me know like if she thinks I need to dial it back. But like no, like that's what this is for. Like this is literally for that and Amanda deserves every word. And he did it a couple of times and I'm not saying that I don't like Kyle or I think he's a bad friend to Sierra, but you were tone policing her and it was annoying to watch cuz she shouldn't be calm right now. And
this is where, like you said, this is exactly where we need to handle everything, because
Yes.
she has been able to run around and get away with everything and answer when she wanted to answer and
Mm-hmm.
do what she wants to do and go to these games and go to like all these bars and all this shit. She's been able to run away from all this shit. This is finally the day that I'm going to be able to say what the fuck I want, ask what the fuck I want, and call
Mm-hmm.
you out because you've been trying to control the narrative. And speaking of controlling the narrative, the same way that Kyle was low key like nudging Ciara, I don't know if you noticed it, multiple times Amanda was speaking over Wes and answering for Wes
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't get their shit together before they came out there. What I was feeling, that I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was lying, sure. But
Mm-hmm.
the way that I felt, and if you guys rewatch that shit, it feels like Wes is like, okay, we're caught. We might as well just like tell them what's up
Mm-hmm.
because every too many people know. Like, shout out to Pretty Little Liars. Two can keep a secret if one of us is dead.
Uh-huh.
There's too many people that know on the stage. We're at the reunion. I got slack for that other reunion that I had where I didn't talk enough. Like I fucked up. So like let's get this shit out of the way so we can continue our lives. Whereas Amanda is still trying to put on a certain image,
Mm-hmm.
so she kept interrupting Wes so he wouldn't tell the truth. She's
Mm-hmm.
intent on lying about so many things, and it's like at this point it does not matter because we cannot think less of you than we already did. So you came out there defensive, you came out there giggly, you came out there smirking and smiling, and then now you're answering for Wes, stopping him from answering questions, and
Mm-hmm.
also you're just being a bitch for no reason.
Truly, you should be, what's it called? Contrite. You should be sitting there, tucked, tail between legs. You should be forlorn. Again, you have many things to be upset about. It's your first reunion without your husband, first reunion without your best friend. Like, you fucked up a lot of things. But what's kind of funny is Amanda maybe realizes it, maybe doesn't. But West is already 10 steps out the door and has been. And at this reunion, Amanda's walking on a tightrope that she might not even realize she's walking on. Because the thing is that West, like you said, he doesn't want to look worse than he already does. Right. So if that means saying the truth, then he was going to, right? So, Amanda, if you're going to dig him further in a hole, he is going to leave you, just like how he does anytime he feels like he's being met with unnecessary criticism or like the audience could like him again as long as he gets out of this romantic relationship. It's the same thing that he did to Ciara. Knock, knock. Like, it's coming for you. Um, okay, yeah. So glad you pointed that out, though, because they tried to like answer the questions together like in like synchronized until they got to the question of when they slept together, and yeah, Amanda cut him right off and she was like, after the statement. That's
Which was
disgusting.
gross. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're in sync.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see
Gross,
that?
ill, yuck. So
Like,
you put out, and that's what I'm sorry. Like, that shit is such bullshit because then they go later on to literally contradict themselves
uh-huh.
because he wants to say, "Oh, I was so focused on not making things physical with Sierra."
Mm-hmm.
But then now at the beginning of the show, I mean, you're telling us we only got physical after the statement. So it's like, okay, so if you think that getting physical is, something that you tried not to do with Sierra because you didn't want her to think certain things, but getting physical with Amanda after the statement is what happened. Like it they didn't have their story straight. And it almost is worse that they fucked after the statement than if they fucked before. To me
100%.
personally, it's worse because it's like, girl,
Agreed.
you didn't even do that. Like at the end of the day, I was like, oh, you know what? As long as she can say the dick was good, the dick wasn't even good enough. If you're telling the truth, which you are not, I know you're not. Like
Mhm.
there's no way. But for you to ruin your life over someone you it's so there's so many elements that I can't even get it out. For you to ruin your life over someone that you haven't fucked yet also is just another crazy layer to it. Sorry.
Yeah. Like they're like it's PG. I'm like that's embarrassing. And anyways, whatever. Okay. Let's not pretend. I was so sick of this. I wanted them to open the reunion with this. Forget about the fucking romantic relationship. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay? Do you think your friendship was appropriate? Do you think how you guys were friends to each other was appropriate? No? Okay, so then that's the date, that date of as soon as your friendship started to be inappropriate, that's the date that we're going to go with as to when this relationship started. Because it, whether it's PG or G or X, something started then because your friendship was not normal. It's weird, right?
And I want Carl to get footage
Mm-hmm.
because he what like when they were having that conversation, he's like, yeah, so you shouldn't be doing this with another person's like wife. So this was before those episodes even really like came out. He might have like obviously like watched them and he was feeling that, but it feels like Carl was clocking something, but he was in denial that Amanda would do that, and he was
Mm-hmm.
also having his own troubles with his best friend at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. So he wasn't like, really able to say, hey, something might be going on here. And I don't think anyone would be because she does it so out in the open that people would not like notice.
And it's sending me, like, I know that this might be like conservative language or whatever, but I'm just gonna have to give it a pass right now because it tickles me every time. It sends me how the way that Carl's like, he touched her midriff, like the things that he's like that's just so inappropriate. Like he touched her back and her midriff and her side of her neck. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, Carl, because you're right. Like what all of that is inappropriate, and that's why again. I wish I could figure out the first episode I said this. I said like at least over a year and a half ago. Amanda
Mhm.
doesn't have male friendships. She has backup options. Like she was always I noticed it since Jesse entered the house in West. Like I feel like that's when she was fully done with Kyle but didn't have the energy to leave him. And it was always pushing the envelope, seeing how much they would flirt with her, seeing if she's flirtable with, seeing if she has her mojo, testing the waters. Like it was like we were always going to get here. Like um okay, moving forward. Let's get to the good parts. I had to cackle when first of all, it infuriated me finding out how many times Sierra had reached out to Amanda, been ghosted, trying to hang out with her. And Mia said it correctly. You prioritized your relationship with West over having a friendship with Sierra, who's been there for you. And I'm glad Sierra made her say that because you act like she hasn't been there for you and like you were being with West, who had supported you and gotten you through the summer. It's sickening. Like, send her a bill. She deserves the biggest bill still. I'm maintaining that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that she said that. And it's also like, do you not hear yourself? Like, do you not understand how that sounds? Like
Mhm.
the things that you should lie about, you're not, and the things that you shouldn't lie about, you are.
And then to get defensive, like, because then she says, to Mia, she's upset. She's like, guess what? Oh my God. Guess what, guys? I had an awakening and I was prioritizing myself.
What the fuck was the awakening? And when was that? Was that in how do you have an awakening in what are we talking about? January, February, March? When we just saw you have an awakening on both Summer House and in the city, which by the way, on the second episode is when she decides to move out and she's pretending as if she wants to move out for a month, and next week we'll see that she wants to sign a year lease.
Mm-hmm.
You're a lying raggedy ass bitch, Amanda.
You're like what? When Wes gave you a hug in the summers, first time your cat got wet again. So you're like, that is that the awakening? Like what exactly was awakened from this? Where have you not been prioritizing yourself, mind you? Like we would have been over me and Amanda just based off the fact that I can't use my shower and my bathtub in the bathroom because her boxes and merch is piled to the wall. You're stressing me out. Like I
Oh my
couldn't
God.
deal
I
with that
can't wait until
alone.
you see episode 2 of Indicity because you're gonna freak out. It's worse.
Oh my God. And then Amanda, oh, this was hilarious. When Amanda's like, you don't think I have other friends? And the whole stage said, no,
No.
we don't. Like, you change your whole personality based off of who you're with. You're with West, so now West friends are your friends. Your friend Katie DeLuca or Katie whoever, guess you weren't seeing her. Like, you just neglected everyone in your life for West. Like, she's just one of those girls. Like, she just drops all of her friends when she's excited about someone in her relationship and then goes back to them when she's miserable. And I can't stand that.
But it's also like crazy for her to ask that because if you literally just go back to the interviews that she gives, she's talking about the people on Summer House and how she couldn't have gone through the summer without Sierra.
Right.
So what do you mean?
Is it an act? Take a
What's the
bow?
awakening?
Where is it? And it's during that conversation, by the way, when Amanda's like, you don't think I have other friends? And everyone on the stage jumps in and they're like, no. And she like attempts to explain which friend she's been hanging out with. And Sierra's like, so West's friends. And
Yep.
Amanda has the fucking audacity to tell Sierra to fuck off.
That's when I got up. Like I physically got up because have you lost your ever loving greasy ass haired mind? Like I want to say more, but have you
He's
lost
checking
your
my hair to make sure it looks really clean because I just got out of the shower.
no, yours is fine. But like her in her fucking lifted bun, like shut the fuck up. You
Hmm.
fuck off actually,
Hmm.
because that's exactly who you're hanging out with. You're hanging out with him and his fucking loser ass friends, bar hopping all over fucking New York, going to weddings that he had to go to. And guess what? On top of that, which I love so much, is that her ass got uninvited to a wedding that he was invited to. Like, you loser, they don't want you there. You have no friends. No one likes you. You're not the girl who's also like the life of the party that everyone wants to hang around. That you have no personality. You're not funny. You're not charming. You're not cool. No one wants to hang around you. No one wants to be your friend. No one wants you at their wedding. No one wants you literally to be with them. You're also only bar hopping with Wes because it was literally you being a pick me with his scarf out with his friends. You fuck off. Fucking cunt.
I love that. That is so funny. Also, Ben just like inadvertently piling on Amanda without intending to, and he told her like,
Good.
"I view her like one of the boys." I'm like, yeah, because she's not friends with the girls, and she's always
Right.
up the boys' ass, and she
Right.
dresses like you guys now. So when I saw Amanda's shoe collection, it pissed me off again. Donate them to me or to people who actually need them because you're
Right.
not wearing these cute outfits.
No.
You're doing
And you're
nothing.
getting them for fucking free, by the way. Like you get so much shit for free, but then you hear from the Bravo audience that you have this cool girl aesthetic that you're like, nope, I'm gonna wear the black tank top
Mhm.
and blue jean combo with some sneakers and then a greasy hair bun because I just don't care. And look at me. I'm so skinny and I can put my hip bone out and you
Mhm.
guys can't. Like
Mhm.
fuck you.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
That's the reason why everything's piling up in her apartment. She has all of these unopened boxes and stuff because you don't want to wear the cute shit. Like
Right.
stop sending it to her. In fact, companies like don't send it to her.
Send them to us.
It's us.
Literally.
But and not us making this about us. Just
Well,
kidding.
is it
Well,
not?
why not? But Amanda, you look stupid. You have so much audacity. I don't care. No, it can't go in the Watch What Happens Live Clubhouse. It can go in my house, in my scrapbook. I want the piece of paper that Jesse Solomon had in his pocket with the timeline written down. I'm mad that he didn't get to read it and was just stuck holding it like a handkerchief in his hand for a few minutes. Open that bad boy up. Let me see the
Yeah,
notes. I wanted to
because
see it.
he is so intent on making sure that he is not the Tom Schwartz of the situation. And I'm like, good boy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Also, whatever the piece of paper, we get another date that we learned. Mind you, January 17th, Sierra's already suspecting it because Amanda's at West's house, okay? We know it's well before then. March 24th, he's still fucking with Miha, his real girlfriend, and she
Yep.
spends the night at his house before Watch What Happens Live. Amanda's pick me ass is like, I knew about it. I knew. You look worse. That's
Look,
worse.
yeah. Way worse. Way worse. And also, Miha, baddest bitch I've seen thus far. And
Uh-huh.
that's why it breaks my fucking heart. Like, not only does he have like all these bad bitches in a row, but he also has someone who is has like a unique idea. He's having her spend the night at his house, and then he has the nerve to literally wear the tie that she made him on Watch What Happens Live, not just wearing the tie, but also shouting her out. Like, no, Amanda, you did not know as much as you want us to think. Sorry.
And you called her your friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you're not a sincere person. That's why Sierra says that you're fraudulent because nobody knows who you are. You're a different person on camera and off camera. And
Yep.
Amanda, you're not the cool girl. It's not cool to expect the bare minimum or to get with people who have proven that you shouldn't trust them. They move weird. They hurt your best friend. Like there's so many reasons to not to come to the conclusion Wes is not a great person to be with. What are we doing?
Exactly. You're taking the words out of my mouth, especially when she's like, "Oh, we talked about it like so much." Like, what do you mean you talked about it so much? So you talked about how he has been basically in a relationship with someone. So not only are you good, which I guess is, a testament to how shitty you are. She's basically saying, "You think that I care about Miha when I am with him knowing that my best friend was literally distraught over him? Why the fuck would I care about Miha?"
You're also making me realize that she was also like didn't give a fuck about anybody else's feelings because she was like, I am leaving Kyle for this. Like I'm
Right.
ending a marriage. Like whoever I'm betraying is way worse than whoever West is betraying. So I'm not going
Yep.
to worry about that. And it's like you want to be with someone who talks about his relationships and says that we were just seeing each other. You just want to be seen. You just want to be casually seen by West. That's what you were going for. Like you're not going to dupe us into thinking that you want something unserious and that that's why West is the perfect person for you. Amanda's like, there's no winning, right? Like, no.
No, like you're trying to act like this is just something that happened, and it's like she literally contradicts herself so many times that I'm like not understanding what the plan was also going into the reunion, because we already don't understand what the plan was when they got together, but then in the reunion it's like on one hand you're saying that you can't help who you're attracted to, but then on the other hand you're also saying, well, you know what, we don't really know what it is yet, it's not that deep. So you would destroy all of this, destroy friendships, relationships, uh viewership, a fucking network. All this you knew you had a show that you
Yeah,
filmed. You had a show that you filmed.
it's
So you
crazy.
also don't care about your fucking job.
Mm-mm.
And that's why I don't give a fuck. Why would I give a fuck about her losing brand sponsorships, possibly her job, if the bitch doesn't give a fuck? Are we kidding?
We're supposed to care for her, like not happening exactly to everything you said. And as far as you're like I think it was hypothetical, but as far as your question, like what was their plan coming into the reunion, they said
Yeah.
it like very plainly. And I think I just wrote it down. They were like, it wasn't to come in and take accountability, it wasn't to apologize, it wasn't to even attempt to mend relationships. Their only intention was to set rumors straight. So they only
Set
came
rumors
in
straight.
with the idea that as long as I say my piece and just say shut down the rumors, then we've done
And
everything.
the timeline.
The
I
time.
remember watching over the weekend. put out some of like the teasers. It was Amanda's first and then West, and everyone was just like, she's so focused on the timeline, the timeline, the timeline.
Hmm.
No one gives a fuck about the when. It is literally the who and the how that we give a fuck about.
Exactly. Because we don't care about the timeline. And Jesse confirmed that too on on his Watch What Happens Live when he said West is coming in combative. He thinks that we have that viewers have the timeline wrong. It's about the fact that when you knew you should not continue approaching this. It's
Yep.
about the fact, Amanda, that you even got buddy buddy with him to begin with. The way you move is fucking weird. You shouldn't even have been that close with him. And it's because situations like this you set up to be easier to happen. Like there, you don't need to have been his best friend. You don't need to be that close with him. Like, and now don't act shocked or like we were fighting our feel. You wanted this to happen. Like you poured into this relationship. You prioritized this friendship. What are we talking about?
But then also her saying that she was trying to fight what was going on, or they realized that something that was going on there. But then she says, "Oh, I was hanging out with him the most." So if you realize something inappropriate is going down and feelings are arising that shouldn't have to arise, or that shouldn't arise, wouldn't that make you not want to hang out with him? I would be like, hey, what the fuck? I'm starting to have feelings for someone that I'm not supposed to have feelings with. And even though I feel like he's my emotional crutch right now,
Mm-hmm.
instead of doing that, instead of putting myself in the situation to have stronger feelings, let me separate myself, especially because you are in your independent girl boss era where you're doing all these fucking interviews and you are, the show is literally airing, the show's about to start or whatever. Because I don't know their real timeline. The show's airing, the show's about to start. You see the audience is on your side. You should be like, hey, I don't want this smoke. I need to stop whatever the fuck is happening. And that's why I do not believe this fucking timeline shit,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't have these strong feelings if it just started then. Like you would remove yourself from that situation
Mm-hmm.
just to save, even if you didn't care about Sierra, cool, whatever, terrible of you, but cool, whatever. You would remove yourself from this to save everything else.
And to be so haphazard, sit in the consequences. Hope it works out for you. Fucking sit with it and deal with it because that's the thing. You didn't tell Sierra how that you were feeling this way because you didn't want to be told no. You already decided the moment it happened. Anything that happens is worth it because you want to be chosen by him. And you fucking got it. Congratulations. You're chosen. Like, good luck, Cassie. Like
Yep.
I don't know what to say. We saw how that worked out. Her saying, by the way, like another moment where they try to make a joke together. The statement gets brought back up after Amanda's like, I feel damned if you do, damned if you don't. You are in a situation where you're in hell. If you're already in hell, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. What are you doing here? Like Mia said, are we morally corrupt? Are we morally bankrupt? Like what's happening here? But then they laugh with each other, and like we couldn't see this in the leaked audio, so it was good to see it with our own eyes that Amanda and West are like ChatGPT. Like he laughed at her joke. I'm like,
And what was
ew.
funnier was, and we didn't hear that either, where Sierra was like, "No, ChatGPT is smarter," and I was like,
Got
"Knee
him.
slapper, bitch." Since we're laughing,
Yes. Also Carl was upset. Like Carl's like, who was this statement for? Like,
and Carl was like, "Daddy and Dad" at the same time.
yes.
He's like, "I don't like what happened here."
And Amanda's answer, important too. Everyone. The statement was because everybody wanted it to be addressed. So it wasn't for Sierra. It wasn't for Kyle. It wasn't like you're just so, again, the things that you should be lying about, you're not.
Yep,
And the things that you shouldn't be lying about, you are. And it's
yep.
just like, LOL. To learn also that Amanda sent KJ a text, but West didn't. And West's answer from that was, I thought I reached out to the people who I impacted the most. Are you stupid? We know you are. That floored me.
It just says so much about like how unaware he is, but also how just like you're literally just dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You're dumb. And it's so odd because you're supposed to be a journalist, a sports journalist. So you have
Mm-hmm.
all these ideas. You have this job where you communicate. You have your podcast with Maga Barbie. You are on a hit show, but you brought this person in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, even if you guys weren't friends, the person that you brought in the house, you can't hit them up.
Right. It's it's really weird. Like, you're sick.
And what pisses me off is obviously we found out about KJ, and like that shit is just, it's so fucking deep and emotional. And it's like you're his friend
Mm-hmm.
and you knew about him and you still like couldn't at least let him know, bro.
Sick.
Like that is where it's like the point of no fucking return for me.
And you guys are so selfish and so self-absorbed. And you've created this situation for yourself so much that you don't even know or don't even care to be there for KJ while Sierra and Mia are, who have known him for less time and were introduced to him recently. Like, you're a horrible friend. It's weird. That alone should have made you feel like you had a stomach ulcer. I'm going to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you should look like you're in physical fucking pain over that. Cuz I would be. I'd be like, I need a trash can next to me during this reunion
Yeah.
the whole time, cuz it's going to be bile. Like, I couldn't live with it. I just don't know how they're fucking doing it. I don't know how they're doing it.
They're gross. They're just fucking disgusting, bro. Like it's just it's like it gets beyond this is just a reality show. Like this is not just a reality show. Like these are these people's
Lives.
lives. The
Mm-hmm.
reality show is us watching them have fun over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, these are people who actually like hang around each other. This isn't like a scripted show. And that's the thing about reality shows. Even though we have some where it's like, okay, we know these people would never hang out together. Summer House is the exception. Like just like Vanderpump Rules was the exception. It was like these people are they have history with each other. These people go out with each other. They live with each other. On Summer House, they live with each other. You even come in that house knowing, because obviously KJ came in that house saying, hey, my name is KJ. I'm a black man. I'm a skateboarder and I have mental health issues. So that means that West Ben knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he didn't have this extreme episode, you know that your friend goes through a lot. So why would you put them in the situation to where they don't even know, they're at the point they don't even know who you are? Like it's just so icky and disgusting.
And that's how like, he's already proven, like, when he says things like, I haven't been online, like, you just have no empathy. Like, you just don't have a conscience. Like, you try to play like this relatable bro who's friends with anybody and funny and like makes people feel included and can snark on themselves and make jokes about themselves, but really, like, you're a really bad person. Like, you know how you at our age, friendships are so intentional and mean so much. And you know, friendships mean so much to KJ. He talked about how he never felt like one of the boys. He talked about how this summer was for him. And to
Yep.
just be so flippant with that and not careful, like I said, it's truly irredeemable, is what it is. And KJ
Yeah.
is so brave for sharing his story. Like, it's not easy to speak about that and on such a public platform, like to even talk about it amongst like self-harm, mental health, BPD, it's hard to share that diagnosis or those feelings with even the closest people in your life. So to bring it to a national platform and have those conversations, and he's doing so because it's authentic to who he is and because he wants to help people, it's just such a stark contrast with two people who don't deserve to be fucking sitting up there or have a
At
platform.
all. At all. And that's why I hope that we'll get into that like another time if we do discuss it. But I hope the rumors are true that it's like, okay, Kyle and not Kyle, Amanda and Wes will be on the show, but they'll only be popping in because no one wants to fucking film with them. I hope that they like honestly run them off the fucking show. That's
Mm,
my feeling, especially after watching this. But I don't want like I want whatever KJ wants. So if KJ feels that there is something worth exploring with West, okay. But I don't want him to have to be in the same vicinity of these people
mhm. Agreed.
if he doesn't want to.
And I just and I that I hate West for that too. Like you're putting him in this horrible position to have to figure out like how he feels about you paired with how you treated Sierra. Oh, it's just like it truly it's just really gross. And then we get into the next thing that was just really hard to watch. And this is why it's so much deeper than just the timeline. Amanda lied. We shouldn't have liked each other. Star-crossed lovers, like whatever they want to call themselves. You gaslit Sierra. Sierra texted you the day that the rumors dropped. And your text back to her is to victimize yourself and say, the internet's on one. I'm under a microscope. We've what'd she say? I hear what you're saying, but people are over analyzing me. You're so wrong for that. Like you can't come clean, you can't be honest, and then when confronted with it, you fucking lie. And for what? It's so short-sighted. For what? To make your day easier? Do you think in terms of 10-hour periods, I can get away with this for the next 10 hours? I'll deal with it in the next 10 hours? Like it's shocking.
What did you think was going to fucking change? Like that's the part that's like, bro, you are caught. You're caught. And you can still tell even to this day, like on this reunion, like I said, she's still not telling the fucking truth.
Hmm.
And it's like if you can lie like that, I don't know who would want to be around you. It's so crazy. And this is the part where I'm so glad I went 40 days and 40 nights on her ass because bitch, you brought me into it. I'm the internet. Because when I saw that shit, I'm like, there's no fucking way. I did a whole podcast on why, just for the sake of friendships and girlhood, I did not want to believe that this bitch did what the fuck she did. And not only did she do it, she did a split on the dick and did it worse. Like, she did more. Like, she showed
Hmm.
her ass. It was just so crazy. So I'm the internet. So you think that I was on
Hmm.
one? You were lying to Sierra, and then you're lying on me about me because you've been all around the fucking world like Daft Punk with this dude, and now you're literally talking about fucking, oh, the internet is on one. Of course we will be on one because there's rumors about you two that shouldn't even be a thing that sounds so ludicrous that you had people fucking defending you and you're doing interviews and you're like it's so infuriating. Like I hate this bitch. I hate her. I hate her. I don't care. I hate her. I can't. Like she's irredeemable. It's worse than Scandival. It's worse than anything that I've heard in recent fucking history. Like this shit is just so toxic on so many different levels and it's not about, you guys are missing the point. It's not about Wes. It is not about Wes. It's about Amanda and her friendship with Sierra and the way that she could have just owned up to things and she didn't and she had to be called out on it and the amount of times that she's lying and the fact that she is still lying as we are already at the reunion after we caught them and then she's bringing us, which is the fans, the internet, and gaslighting us in addition to gaslighting Sierra, who is the only victim here, really.
Hmm.
Other
Yeah.
than, Kyle, whatever. But
Hmm.
she's the only person here that is literally deserving of the truth.
Hmm.
That is crazy. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
She,
That it's literally crazy.
it is, and it's sick, and it's selfish, and it's entitled, and she wiped your tears physically, emotionally, was there for you, hours, hours, days of bitching, just there for you, and then this is the reaction. And going forward just a little bit, because we talked about earlier when Amanda was like, I don't always share my location with you. We learned that West made the first move. This was after a brunch that he went out to with Kyle, like her husband. And I'm like, you guys, you guys are just gross. Like just get everything out there because you guys are sick. There's no way to make this sound better. And then once we talked about them sleeping together after the statement, which we already said makes it worse, Amanda's like, I everyone is acting like I'm the worst person in the world. This is not the worst thing that's ever happened. And it's like, no, but it is the worst thing that's ever happened in your friend group that you guys do to each other. Like if we can keep the world in your microcosm of all of you around each other, no, this is the worst thing, Amanda. And you did it. You did it. Like so I hate when people say that. Like there's other stuff to worry about. Like no, we're worrying about you.
But then that makes me wonder, what else have you done? If this isn't the worst thing in the world, maybe you're comparing it to, obviously there's stuff out in the world but you don't care about none of that shit. That doesn't bother you. You're a lazy bitch who doesn't do anything for anyone. You don't care. You're not involved in anything. You barely care about your fucking dogs. You don't want to take care of them. You can't even clean your fucking room. Your mom has to come over and clean your house. So then you must mean this is not the worst thing that you've done. So I want to know, do you guys have any Amanda
Mhm.
stories? Feel free to share them. Because what have you done that's worse than this? This is terrible. This is bad.
Well, they said she was a mean girl in high school. So, I mean, I
Let
wouldn't
me
be
know.
surprised if this is just her MO. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So the rest of the reunion is sort of kind of like wrap us up. Bailey and Ben have a confrontation, and Bailey is basically telling Ben that she thinks he has anger issues. He likes to reprimand women. She uses herself as an example. She uses Amanda as an example. She uses Sabrina as an example. We see a brief clip of Sabrina and Ben in the bedroom where he tells Sabrina, imagine if we had kids together, trying to get them to school. So we see that sound bite. Okay, two things can be true, and again I reserve the right to change my mind, and I just don't care enough to like provide too big of an opinion on this. I do think Bailey's doing too much. Okay, I do think that a piece of how she felt about Ben earlier in the season was because he sort of like rejected her advances. Simultaneously, like I'm not about to go that hard at Ben because as people have pointed out online, Ben gets along with all the black people in the house. People seemingly
Yeah.
like Ben. So okay, fine. But yeah, I think it's weird that he likes to get so animated specifically with women. Granted, we haven't seen a situation where any of the men tested him, I guess, or made him upset, but yeah, and I think that he was with Sabrina. Like that's obvious. Like they were together since April. Maybe not exclusively dating or explicitly this is my girlfriend, but I think that she was very much waiting for him to finish this summer and see if they wanted to have a relationship. What did you think?
Bailey woke it up. So that's the only reason. Like, okay, I was like, I came in here feeling like I don't want to hear shit about fuck else. And if they bring up Bailey or Ben during this entire first part, I don't give a fuck because I just want to talk about what we need to talk about, which is the elephant in the room, which is West and Amanda. However, when she brought that up and then she had so much to say about it and then she provided the examples, then I was like, all right, I guess you had a point. I don't know if I agree with it. I don't know if I don't really give a fuck about it. Like I'm sorry, I just don't care about it. Um but it was interesting to see and I'm like, okay, Bailey, wake it up.
Mm-hmm. Because here's my thing too. People might come at me in the comments for this, and again, that's fair. I reserve the right to change my mind. But in my experience, if what she said was completely wrong, he would have had more of a reaction. And I think that part of it too is like he doesn't want to give her the same reaction that she's just accused him of having. So I get that.
Right.
But I think that like the average person, not the average person, but I'm just like thinking about my partner and I'm like, if he was being accused on a stage of not being nice to me, I don't think he would just let the record be unclear. Like I think it would be challenged. Like no, because the only thing he said is like, what do you mean? You love Sabrina Bell. And she's like, I never said I didn't. I said that you are the problem. I think you're the biggest piece of shit. Made me laugh.
Right. I really liked I that was like a little treat that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Um a little beef that I didn't know
Yeah.
was going to be addressed like that. Like
Hmm.
I knew they were going to talk about it, but
Hmm.
I didn't like Bailey was ready.
She
And
was
poor
ready.
Levi like was like, "Hey guy." But I was just like, yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe he does like to and then that's when he goes, well, I don't do it with Amanda because I feel like Amanda's part of the boys. So I'm like, well, you just proved her point even more. Maybe you do only
Right.
like to recommend women. I guess so. I don't know.
And I hate the fact that Amanda has so much else to talk about, so much to answer for, that she's not about to put herself out there and look stupid again. But I was surprised that there wasn't a moment between her being like, no, like she was in the confessional, like giving us the biggest facial expressions. Like, where was the no, you did want to fuck me? I saw the text messages.
Yep. Where
Where's
was
that?
that energy? Because you're so focused on this whole thing with you and Wes, and you know that you look like a piece of shit that you can't talk about anything else. And also you see the reaction of literally how everyone felt when you were pretty much trying to overstep and overtalk Sabrina and literally, we talked about it, like pull her to the side and be a cunt to her as soon as she walks in the house that you're like, you know what, I'm just let that go.
Yeah, because you didn't expect that. You expected us all to be on your side, Amanda. LOL.
The last thing I was gonna say is even if she didn't do this thing with Wes, I would not have been on her side with the Sabrina thing because I don't like the way that she treated Sabrina
Agreed.
in that situation point blank.
Agreed. I don't care if Ben had a secret girlfriend. The way that Amanda talked to her was weird. And we've heard in the past that it's been rumored that you don't get to come on Summer House if you have a relationship. So if Ben lied to get on a Summer House or if they didn't know, I don't really fucking care. That what Amanda, you're married. You're still married. Like let's keep the issues at hand. We end with Ciara telling West and Amanda, congratulations. This is the this is the best revenge that West could think of to execute. You guys together to get at me. And honestly, maybe you guys will work out because he needs someone mute and passive and will be stepped on and walked over so he can be the star. And that's Amanda. And I said Amanda will think about that for the rest of her life, and it's fucking true. She will think about it when
Yep.
she brushes her hair. She will think about it when she brushes her teeth. She will think about it when she's walking down the street. She will think of that forever, and it's true.
It's true, and that's why that's the only thing that made her cry because she knows that's literally the truth. That's something that she cannot escape. And it's so true that whether he meant to or not, or whether they edited that part in or not, Wes was also kind of like,
Hmm. Kyle cried. It was so true. Kyle cried. Like he's like, got too much on me because he's like inadvertently that makes me look like a bad husband. I'm like, Kyle, that's why you chose her. That's why you're upset. You know it's fucking true. That's who she is, your mousy wife. And don't try to make people feel sad for you. Go away. Leave the room if you're going to cry.
Exactly. And also him saying, "Oh, that was harsh." Like, bitch, fuck you. I don't care if that was harsh. This is not your feelings. These are my feelings. I'm finally able to get them out. You've been talking to this bitch the whole time. Kyle
Hmm.
has been the one in contact with Amanda. So Kyle, you don't get to tell Ciara what was harsh because she hasn't been able to talk to Amanda because Amanda has been duck and wreck for so fucking long. And then after that, she finally admitted to what she was doing. And then she comes to the reunion. She continues to lie. So, yeah, we're actually going to talk about the way that I feel. And actually going to examine whether I think that you guys are going to last or not. And everything that I said, it was true. And unfortunately, it makes you look like a bad husband because it's the truth. You were the star in the relationship. You were someone
Hmm.
who Amanda allowed to cheat on you constantly, kiss
Hmm.
girls, allegedly sleep with girls, come home at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. You did all that. It makes you look bad. It makes her look bad. And too bad.
Congrats. LOL. I don't know. And what? Like, and sorry. Like,
And,
sorry, Charlie.
and she was like, "That's your wife, not mine."
And she still is, according to the state of New Jersey, apparently. So,
Where's the lie? She hates when we bring up that she's married. The last thing I do want to bring up before we wrap is we talked about KJ and his like just brave as a person, as a human being, but especially as a person of color. But also, I want to talk about, Mia talking about how, she and Scott are no longer together. She was the one to call it off. She talked about just like dealing with grief and how many people it touched and how that affected her and how she wanted to at least connect with at least one person, help one person, and like that was just so good. And I just, what a great addition to a show, best addition of the year, so far, and it's really going to be hard to beat that. So just want to shout out more Mia love, especially in this part one, because that was one of the only non-West and Amanda things other than KJ that I really truly like cared about. And that's why I kept saying throughout the season, I'm like, I hate that now we can only watch through the lens of what are West and Amanda doing, because there's so many conversations and things that are happening that can help people, and also just plain old other entertaining things that are going down that we're not able to focus on because of West and fucking Amanda.
hmm. That's such a good point. I love Mia. I love what she shared. She's been so honest talking about her grief openly. And I had a feeling her and Scott were going to break up. And I'm glad that she's feeling good about her decision. I like what she said too. Like, I'm prioritizing myself. I don't think it's healthy to go from relationship to relationship.
And they cut to West and Amanda.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
You ate that. You ate that.
hmm. And Mia deserves everything. Mia, KJ, Sierra. Like you're so right. There's a show here. There's so much stuff to care about that I want to see. Unfortunately, right now, I'm gonna lock in, still want to see the rest of this out because fuck you, Amanda and West. But like I'm excited to get back to the fun side because Sierra was hilarious this summer. She was dressed up like the Lorax from Dr. Seuss. Like she coordinated a ground strike with water guns at everybody who came in. And Amanda was pissy over that too. Like there was just so much fun things to talk about and deep things and a genuine connection. I want to see more of their friendships. And for that reason alone, however Sierra is most comfortable returning to the show, I hope she does. If that means they're not on the show, don't give a fuck. Bye-bye, West and Amanda. Couldn't care less. But I want to see Sierra on Summer House more because she shouldn't be the one to go. Like, hello, principal. And I love seeing her.
Yeah, she shouldn't be the one to go. And I also feel like, damn, we just got Mia in here and we love, like, who is Mia going to, like, not that she needs a friend, she has her own storyline, but it's like, not only is Sierra losing Summer House, but she finally has her best friend that she literally lives with in the same building in the house. and we love her, so we know that we want her back. So it's like, damn, Mia's just gonna be in there. Obviously, she has KJ, but it's like we finally got three black people in the house, and like this shit goes down. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and obviously
Mm-hmm. This
we
is why
had
two white people need to be the ones to go.
exactly, and obviously we had Gabby, but I'm just saying like we never had like a black man in the summer house, and also like the greenest flag of them all.
Love KJ. KJ, you're so important to me. Thank you for sharing what you do. It's so nice to see a man be talking about his emotions and vulnerable and caring about women and over the bro code and not be misogynistic and not have a bunch of patriarchal talking points or not care about their little sisters. Like KJ can make me cry in 30 seconds. Like when he told Ciara that he wants his little sisters to be like her, I'm like, that's beautiful. Like that is
Yeah.
such a compliment. That's so sweet. Um, Wrapping here, everybody, we have talked to you for over or just about, depending on the editing, 2 hours of Summer House Reunion. We talked Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Your price of entry is to make sure you have liked this video, subscribed, hype, leave a comment. Make sure you go over to Bravo, We're Black. She will be tagged. This is Kaya and Aaron's podcast. They're on all platforms. Always creating content, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed on all platforms. It helps so much. Kay is also on Facebook and she's very consistent. So if you're a Facebooker, go to Facebook and stay tuned for our episode on Kaya's podcast, which will be about Euphoria. The Boys has wrapped and we'll give you guys random segments on whatever we're watching. So let us know what you're watching in the comments and any closing words, any final thoughts.
No, thank you guys for literally staying with us. Thank you guys for showing up for the chat. Thank you guys for showing up for the podcast. And make sure you like and hype this video. It is free to do and free to support us. And if you want to monetarily support, go to patreon.com/BravoWhile or we also have buymeacoffee.com/BravoWhile. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Everybody have a great day. Thank you for talking the reunion with us. Just a reminder, I will not be here next week. I will be OOT out of town. I will be having guest host pop in to talk to you about Love Island, a little bit of Summer House reunion. So look out for that and everybody enjoy your week. Bye-bye.